And we are live. Hello, good people of the internet. It's day 3 of the 20-day live challenge that I'm taking up on a Better Way platform. This is Chetan Narang, if you don't know already. The challenge is for me to come live daily on my YouTube channel and talk my heart out about the most powerful thing that I'm sitting with. And the challenge for you as a viewer is to help this channel get to 10,000 subscribers by the end of these 20 days. So share this video, share this channel, share the trailer of this channel, share any other video on this channel that you have resonated with, that has helped you in your own journey, with your friends on WhatsApp, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, LinkedIn, wherever you can share it, so that we reach more people. Because let me be honest with you, it's necessary for us to reach more people in order to have a better way live in this world. And a better way living in this world, not as my personal brand or Rocco's personal brand, but a better way of humanity going forward. With that in mind, with that intention set, let's get into day 3. The topic for day 3 that I've chosen is something that I have had multiple discussions with multiple friends across so many years now, honestly. And this is something that I feel is one of the fundamental blocks, one of the fundamental pillars of a better way. The fact, the truth that we are all in the same team. We are all in the same team. Now, whenever I've said this to people, there is a particular kind of people who immediately align with it, immediately resonate with it, because it is true. It's eventually true that we're all in the same team. But it's also true that there is a particular kind of people who immediately just feel that this is an impractical voodoo, almost a nonsensical thing to say, that we're all in the same team, because we'll always be divided by all the different thoughts and all the different needs and worries that we have, etc. And therefore we are not, no, we are not in the same team. And that is what I want to address today. I'm going to try in this live video to make a case for why I know, why I understand that we're all eventually in the same team. Let's try. Huh? One way of understanding it is the fact that we are in the same team, in the sense that we are all humans. We are all eventually aligning towards a common great, so that a common great destiny. And if we don't act as if that is the case, what happens is what is happening in the world right now. People acting selfishly, countries acting selfishly, and not even caring about an imminent danger which is dangerous to all of us, not just to human beings who are calling it out, but to everyone. Now, this plays out in, let's say, consider any country that you can see, the US for that matter. There is the whole left versus right debate going on in the US all throughout the year, all throughout the presidential election years, or in fact, I think for the past decade or so, we have been seeing it playing out on social media, that people just keep fighting as if the Democrats feel that if they get elected, they're going to just crush it. The Republicans feel that if they get elected, they're just going to crush it. And if you look at it from the outside, you know that eventually what you want is for USA to succeed. You want for USA to be a better place for everyone, right? You are in the same team. You don't have to fight all the time. You have to sit down and understand what it takes to build a better country. Of course, there are going to be different opinions about it, but can we just sit down and talk about where we are more similar rather than where we are more different? Because let me assure you, human beings are more similar than different. We all want the same things. We all want similar things. We want a better future for ourselves. We want a better future for our kids. We want to have more freedom. We want to have more equality, in the sense that we don't want to be the oppressed people. We don't want our kids to ever be oppressed. We want similar things. Both sides across all dichotomies eventually want the same things. So can we sit down and focus on what all of us together want? In that sense, we are in the same team. And apply this to any dichotomy that you can think of. You know, if I talk about India, there are so many different dichotomies that are always forming up, that have always historically formed up. There is the Hindu versus Muslim debate that's always happening. People just can't agree that they are eventually on the same team, just simply from the limited perspective that we're both working towards a better India. People can't agree on that. And while people are fighting the Hindu versus Muslim debate, they're oblivious to the fact that there is a North India versus South India fight happening. South Indians believe that North Indians are oppressing them. North Indians believe that, I don't know what they believe, if there is such a group as North Indians, because eventually Even within South India, even within North India, there are these limited fights happening. Delhi will be fighting against Haryana, Karnataka will be fighting against against Tamil Nadu, North Karnataka will be fighting against South Karnataka. And all of these fights, they are, while they're fighting these fights, they're all oblivious to the fact that Northeast Indians are fighting against all the rest of India. What is really happening is tribalism. What is really happening is we are building identities out of whatever suits us, whatever we have seen to be the truths of our lives, and we stick on to those identities. And we never transcend those identities. And that is the answer. We have to transcend our identities. We have to transcend these limited paradigms that we operate in, because they're leading to fights that are only leading to divergence. There is no convergence in any of these fights. And sometimes I feel that people are being way too ignorant for their own good, because we live in 2025. You can go online and you can see how people fight for the limited, um, holding on to the limited team that they are holding on to. And doesn't that ever make you question, why are they fighting over this? Firstly, because if you are too worried about the North India versus South India fight, you can look at the Hindu versus Muslim fight and just say that, why are these guys worried about Hindu versus Muslims? Why are they really so worried about this? Because the real fight is North India versus South India. If you look at this kind of a fight, can't you see that it's just the same game playing out on a different level? It's just, eventually it is tribalism, and we can hold on to any single identity that we form and just keep fighting the fight. I mean, of course, we can build policies, the government can build various different policies to give equal or proportionate representation to people wherever they want it. But don't you see that that's a fool's game? Don't you see that that will always keep continuing? Like I just said, after North India and South India have had equal representations, they're going to be North Karnataka and South Karnataka. And this kind of a fight is not just happening in India, it's happening across the globe. The eventual solution, to be a part of the solution, is to transcend these dichotomies, is to transcend these small little tribalism games that we keep playing, and transcend that bug. Because yes, tribalism helped us when we were living in disconnected communities, but we aren't disconnected anymore. This tribalism is a bug in our software now that we need to understand, that we need to transcend, so that we can solve these problems, so that we can collectively realize the truth that we're all eventually in the same team. That's one way I understand it. That's one way I like to teach and talk about it. The second way is, consider the whole religion based fight. That's also something that's been happening for centuries now. Christians versus Muslims, Muslims versus Hindus, Jews versus Christians, so many different kinds of fights. And whenever people are fighting about religion, I don't know how I went on to this conclusion, but what I feel genuinely is that if you are a religious person, no matter which religion you were born into, if you are a religious person, what you want to really do, what you want to really accomplish, is either to understand God or to worship God, or do both of them, perhaps, right? And if there is a God, if there is a God, that has to be an objective truth. That cannot be an Islamic God, a Christian God, a Jewish God, a Hindu God, or millions of others. If all of us have our individual gods, if all of our religions give us our own gods, none of us have the God. Do you feel that? Do you understand that? This is fundamentally important to end all these religion based debates. Because if you're holding on to your own God and saying that your God is incorrect or limited and my God is not, you are foolish. You're absolutely childish, because you don't see the fact that you have to transcend these limited paradigms. All of these limited paradigms that we call religion right now are a residue of our past, where we were all disconnected. We evolved individually, collectively, but we evolved as individual units in separate places, disconnected. And now that we aren't so disconnected, we can see the fact that, if you look at it from a bird's eye perspective, you can see that every single community tried to build some idea of God, tried to build some idea of religion, tried to build some idea of making sense of where they belong in the world. And if there are fights happening as to who has the best truth out of all of them, They have to fundamentally realize that all of them are like that story of the five blind sages holding on to different parts of the elephant and saying that they have the complete picture. None of them do. What is the complete picture? The transcendent perspective of looking at the entire game. And that is the game that's available to everyone now. It's 2025. I'm talking to you live on YouTube, syndicated then to all the different platforms. This is happening live. You can understand, you can see. You should not be any more ignorant of the fact that we are eventually in the same team, because we are all trying to make sense of God. We are all trying to make sense of what is fundamentally objectively true about our existence in this world. And just in that sense also, we're all in the same team. We're all in the same team. You don't have to keep fighting your limited fights. And anyway, one more way of understanding this, if this is still not clear to you, if you are in a marriage, if you're in any kind of a relationship, let's talk about a marriage. You care more about the marriage than your position within the marriage. You fundamentally have to, because if you don't, there is no point even talking about anything. You know, if you are in a marriage where there is no love, where there are only arguments happening throughout the year, not daily but almost throughout the year, that's the fundamental reality of your marriage. You're always arguing, you're never really loving each other. There has to be a day when one of you at least realizes that, hang on a minute, this is not healthy, not for me, not even for this person. This is a toxic relationship for both of us. So either we should simply break apart, we should simply stop calling this a marriage, or we should both transcend our limited positions within this tussle and look at the bigger picture. And that's the invitation here. And quite honestly, I want to connect with more people who can see this bigger picture, because I know from the bottom of my heart that I'm not the only one who understands this. I'm not the only one who's even feeling this, that we're in the same team. Why can't people see? Why can't people feel the unity? I know fundamentally that if I'm feeling this, there are a lot of other people who are also feeling this. And what I feel is missing from this world right now is an initiation towards this kind of thinking. Because just imagine for a minute, just even if this seems completely impractical and voodoo to you, can we simply drop our guards only till the duration of this live video, just another 2 3 minutes more? Can we just drop our guard and just dream? Can we dream a big dream together? Can we dream a better dream together? The best dream that I can dream of when it comes to topics such as this is a world where newborn kids are initiated into the idea that we are in the same team. They're not initiated into the idea of Islam or Hinduism or political left or political right or feminism or men's rights activism, etc., etc. Every kid is initiated into the idea that human beings are in the same team. We belong to the team of life with a capital L. That will be such a beautiful world to live in, because I don't think we'll have to solve all the different tussles that always keep happening. And I know, like I've said multiple times already now, I'm not the only one who feels this. What is missing from this world is an initiatory process to initiate people into this kind of thinking. And I think that's what a better way will provide. I envision a better way to actually, eventually, one of the arms of a better way should become a part of the school curriculums, where kids are taught this from a very basic age. You know, we don't have to then solve the problem of people resolving these tussles, because these tussles themselves should fall apart. They are just questions being asked the wrong way. And if you feel that this is not necessary, if you feel that this is all just an impractical dream that some fool on the internet is talking about, I invite you to check out this movie. There is a movie that came out, I think, a couple of years ago on Netflix called Don't Look Up. Don't Look Up. It was a satire of what was happening in the USA when COVID struck. And you would just understand intuitively when you watch that movie that this is not just a spiritual crisis anymore. This is not just a pipe dream of some romantic poets. This is a fundamental necessity now, to understand that we are a part of the same team and we have to avoid imminent dangers together. We have to have more relevant, more necessary conversations together. You have to realize that this is necessary now, because if we don't, we have already elected an extremely selfish, self-absorbed person as the president of one of the most powerful countries of the world. We are not too far away from electing more such leaders, in fact, if we haven't already done that. And these people in power, I don't know what they will do, but what I feel fundamentally is that that will be like the people who are fighting those fights still will keep fighting those fights, but then it's almost as if that will be a part of humanity that we would want to forget. That will be the side of our psyche that eventually we would want to forget. And this this transcendent perspective that I'm talking about, this will be the modern human. This will be where I would personally want my kids to be initiated towards. This is where I would want the kids that my friends are having all around me, the kids that I see playing all around me, to be initiated towards directly. That has to be. That has to be. Because if we don't do that, watch the movie Don't Look Up and realize that we're in for a dangerous end. We are in for a catastrophe. And I don't know if we can actually avoid the catastrophe anymore, but I think we can at least prepare ourselves better for what will be if we survive that catastrophe. That's it. And one thing I think that the movie Don't Look Up said was, I don't remember the exact thing, but the quote was something to the tune of, the biggest regret you have is not that this could have been. I don't remember the exact thing, but the fundamental idea was that the biggest regret that you would have now, now that everything is ended, the biggest regret you would have is that you could have done something about it. And guess what? It's not ended yet. We still can do something about it. And that is what the idea is behind A Better Way, to do something still while we can. So that's it. The invitation for you is to share this message, share this video. In fact, a new trailer for A Better Way YouTube channel is coming out today, in about a few hours from now. So check that video out. If you have ever wanted to have a very concise video which you can share with your community as to what my work, Rocco's work here, stands for, you should check out that video and share it with your friends. I genuinely hope that you get to sharing it out, and I genuinely hope that what I'm doing here in this 20-day life challenge is actually leading towards a better way of extracting more community engagement and driving more people towards a cause that we really need to have. I don't know if anyone else is doing this right now, honestly. If they are, we would want to join forces with them, because eventually what we want is to raise a flag somewhere on the internet and say that this is the same place. This is a same place where you can come. We are in the same team. Let's charter a better way together. That's it. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Don't forget to share this with your friends and family. Don't forget to share this channel with your friends and family. And I'll see you tomorrow. Until next time, peace out.